Gaylors, this video is for you. If you're not a Gaylor, just keep scrolling. Okay, guys, I know that we have theorized front, back, and center about what the 38 and the 83 could possibly mean to Taylor. And I know at least I have thought that I figured it out a million different times. But this time, I think I've actually clocked it. So lock in, share this with your friends because I think this is about to become canon. In case you're not aware, Taylor uses the 38 and the 83 constantly in between dates, and it's just used over and over and over. I'll tag a creator who's tracked a lot of them, KP, so that you can go check out our videos and see more of it if you're interested. I think the 38 refers to this MySpace post, and it's called Blender. Taylor's mentioned MySpace multiple times in the past few weeks when she's been advertising and giving interviews for the showgirl era. If you're not familiar with the Blender theory, I will link a video that I made a couple years ago about it in the caption, but it's basically just a theory that Taylor's plan is to break the Hollywood blender. And the blender is the kind of whirlwind that closeted artists in the entertainment industry are thrown into when they are forced or highly encouraged to stay in the closet. There's a lot more detail to it than that. So again, I'll link the video below. And I think that she's referring to this MySpace post just because it refers to the blender in general. Like, I think future Taylor, when she decided to break the blender, looked back and remembered this cover, found this MySpace post, and that's where we got the 38. And that's why she's using it increasingly as we get closer to the end of this journey that we've been on. Now, I kind of started looking at this as like a joke, like, haha, it means the blender, but it's kind of crazy. Hold on. So it's super cute, Taylor. You can read this yourself. She talks about the radio shows, and then there is a party going on later that's about the new faces, and there's a disco party. She also mentions that the Blender magazine is coming out March 11th. Remember that. So the disco party is put on every year by Blair Garner with After Midnight. It was sick. Everyone dresses up in 70s attire, and the artist sings 70s covers. I sang I Love Rock and Roll in full costume with a brown wig and leather pants. I'll put up the pictures. Then she talks about the Picture to Burn music video, which I just made a video about the other day. Because in the making of the Picture to Burn music video, it says, she talks about I'm a pyro and striking the match, a whole bunch of callbacks to this era. And it starts out with an exit sign. Also, note here that Taylor always signed off on MySpace with love, love, love. So 3 loves and the letter T. So the T's definitely call back to Taylor, and the triple love calls us back to the pumpkin messages with the repeating 3 words. But here's the cover. Note the black and white and kind of the corset vibe. She's the girl next door, Panic at the Disco. This is the April edition. Now remember, of course, Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco is the one who's in the Me music video with Taylor that she announced on April 13th, did a 13-day countdown, and it released on April 26th. Now, there's a lot of things I want to talk about in this actual magazine, but we got to talk about the numbers. Like I said, I started to look at this as a joke, like, haha, what if she used these numbers for something? That would be so crazy. She's crazy. I love her. Okay, so like I said, Me music video, April edition, right? Well, she says in the post that the magazine actually drops on March 11th. March 11th is the day that Taylor released the Delicate music video in 2018, 10 years later. The Delicate music video that was filmed at the same place as the visuals that we're getting now for Showgirl, right? That also happens to be her brother Austin's birthday. Now, the first 3 numbers, 716, happens to be National Snake Day, which that's freaking wild, right? Taylor has said it's her favorite day of the year. But also, if you mix it up a little, 6/17 is the day that she released the You Need to Calm Down music video. The single was released 3 days earlier, but the music video was released on 6/17. Little bit of a coincidence considering the Me music video of it all, but okay, whatever. She also announced that one and released it on Good Morning America, just like she just did for the Eras Tour doc. Okay, this is editing me hopping in here because I just realized something. Do you guys remember on the Eras Tour when Taylor accidentally said MySpace instead of My Face on Denver Night 2? Well, she did that on July 15th. And she didn't have a show on July 16th. She didn't have another show until July 22nd. So if she was going to make a nod to July 16th, it would have to be on the 15th. And she did. Okay, now let's move on to 5/8. 5/8 is when she announced the City of Lover was coming to, I think it was Disney, on streaming. This was in 2020. So 5/8 of 2020, she announced City of Lover. Not that big of a deal until you realize something else that I'll get to in a minute. 5/8 is also the very first show of the Reputation tour. She started it in Glendale, just like she did for the Eras tour. Again, 10 years later. 5 years after the Reputation tour, she opened in the same place for the Eras tour. For Reputation, that was at the University of Phoenix Stadium, and Charlie XCX opened up, so she was at that show, actually romantic, and Taylor sang All Too Well as the surprise song. Remember this is important. I'll come back to it. Okay, so we've got 5/8, first day of Reputation, and City of Lover announced, right? So then we get to 3/9. 3/9 is the last day of what I call Act 1 of the Eras tour. The first section before she released TTBD had 83 shows, and it ended on 3/9. She sang Mirrorball and Epiphany, but she also sang Cowboy Like Me and Tim McGraw. Cowboy Like Me, which is record 9, track 11, and Tim McGraw, which is record 1, track 1, on 3/9, track 911, and 3/9, track 1 and 1. Okay, so that's all insane, right? We're not done. Now, I've been making polls since the beginning of the Eras tour about Taylor's use of the number 7. But let's go up here. I almost didn't even look these up because I was like, that's a price, like 99, that could be a date, like whatever, right? Wrong. Okay, so we talked about when the City of Lover was announced that it was going to be released, but it was actually recorded on 9/9 in 2019. So the year before, 9/9 is when it's recorded, 5/8 is when it's released. But something else happened on 9/9, and that was Taylor's TIFF presentation of the All Too Well short film. Red was number 4, 9/9. All Too Well from number 4 on 9/9. Remember again when I said the secret or the song for the opening of Rep Tour was All Too Well? See how all these connections are coming together? This is already stupid long. I'm running out of time, but I want to talk about a few things that are in the actual magazine itself. Is there really a hidden meaning behind Radiohead's In Rainbows? Not since Dorothy Gale followed the Yellow Brick Road to the strains of Dark Side of the Moon, both of which I've talked about, by the way, together, have the conspiracy geeks gotten so much to theorize with. It was all about 10th anniversaries. Remember, I was talking about 2008 to Reputation, 2018. But there were theories about golden ratio, theories about binary code, all the things that have been theorized about Taylor's record as well. This is giving this and this. We have Michael Jackson and his genre hopping, Christina Aguilera and the circus, even the umbrella, Taylor and Little Miss Perfect, and even John Mayer, Sexy Time. Remember I'm Too Sexy being in Look What You Made Me Do? There's even more, but that's all I have time for. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that maybe there's too much here to deny, especially the numbers. That's kind of actually crazy. Let me know what you guys think, and make sure and share this video.